OG, Ice-T, original gangster. Now, when I seen you earlier, I thought you was throwing up gang signs at me, but I found out it was just your arthritis.
Big boy, I never really had a problem so much with the cops as people think, you know, even though I did cop killing and stuff like that, because we were real live criminals.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
We didn't hate the police were the opponent.
You know that Ice-T's infamous song about doing something to the cops came out the same year as Snoop Dogg's now famous song about doing something to the cops?
Hollywood eats up a rise to fame, but it loves a downfall even more. Back in the 90s, Ice-T wasn't just a rapper. He was a gangsta rap legend, flipping the script as a movie star, then locking in as the face of one of TV's biggest crime dramas. He showed the world that hip-hop could dominate Hollywood screens. But suddenly, the shine started to fade. Now Snoop Dogg is dropping a warning that the industry would rather keep buried, and it might just explain why Ice-T slowly stepped away from the Hollywood spotlight. So let's break down the link between Snoop's words and Ice-T's quiet exit.
I don't really down in LA. Like, I survived LA, but I don't go back and hang out. Like, you go back to the block now.
When people think of Ice-T today, the first image is Detective Finn on Law & Order, SVU, a role he's locked down for over 20 years. It's steady checks, a loyal fan base, and a character fans can't let go of. But what people forget is that long before SVU, Ice-T was rising fast on the big screen. From his iconic role in New Jack City to cult gems like Trespass and Ricochet, he was one of the first rappers Hollywood truly welcomed into mainstream cinema. Then suddenly the momentum cooled. Movie offers slowed. The big screen stopped calling, and Ice-T seemed to shift lanes into TV. On the surface, it looked like a smooth career move, but Snoop Dogg hints there's a darker reason. In interview after interview, Snoop's broken down how Hollywood is really a game you have to play, with gatekeepers pulling the strings. He's warned how the industry's love is fake. They hype you up while you're hot, but the second you don't fit their storyline anymore, they push you out and leave you cold.
When you're in the industry of Hollywood, they offer you other things. Things that are addictive, things that could kill you, things that could harm you, things that could jeopardize your future. And I maintained because I had certain family members that did other things. And I sold other things. So I knew the effects of it. So I said, one thing about me, I'm gonna stand tall on what I believe in.
Some fans today point at Snoop and say he sold out to the same Hollywood machine he warns about now. But Ice-T was built different. He was never the type to play by anyone's rules. His music came straight for authority. His lyrics hit raw nerves, and his brutal honesty kept him in headlines. In the early 90s, the infamous cop killer controversy put Ice-T dead center in the crosshairs of politicians, police unions, and conservative media. Hollywood was already nervous about rappers, and Ice-T refusing to bow down could have easily branded him a permanent outsider. Which leaves the question, did he really step away on his own? Or did someone force him out the back door? First big reason, straight up political pressure. In 1992, Ice-T dropped Cop Killer with his heavy metal band Body Count. The track was raw, loud, and unapologetically political, and the backlash exploded instantly. Police unions demanded boycotts, politicians on both sides condemned him, and even the sitting president spoke out. This wasn't just a music scandal, it blew up into a full-blown national debate over art, politics, and power.
Pull the trigger long.
Rap artist Ice-T is in hot water with police officers across the country. In his song, Cop Killer, Ice-T raps about a desire to murder police officers.
But Ice-T didn't backpedal. He doubled down. He stood firm on his stance about the police, saying the only people upset by his song were straight-up and dirty, heavy-handed cops.
Body Count album, the enemies are racist, racist parents, and brutal police. And if those are my enemies, then so be it. Did anybody else, and it's not done maliciously in any attempt to make anybody go out and commit a crime. Really, with the song Cop Killer, I'm saying is that they are so brutal, they are putting people to the point that people might want to go do that. And this particular guy in this character does. that's rapping in the first person. That's called a poetic license. And obviously these ignorant pigs don't know nothing about music.
And while Ice-T was making headlines that boosted hip-hop, Hollywood executives saw him as a problem. On top of that, typecasting hit him hard. From New Jack City to Trespass, his early film catalog was loaded with roles tied to his gangster rap persona. He played criminals, hustlers, cops who bent the rules. And at first, that edge made him stand out. But as the years rolled by, those roles dried up. Hollywood has a short memory, and once they box you in, they rarely let you out. Snoop has even called out how tough it is for rappers to escape street stereotypes on screen. And if you don't play along, if you don't let them shape your image, the calls stop, the scripts vanish, and suddenly you're left on the outside looking in?
Young actor, so to speak, and I just was being Snoop Dogg and everything. Every time I called for a cameo, oh, I'm in. And these was garbage movies, some I don't even want to name. Look, it's gonna be working. I told you, this is Humboldt County. Cube called me to his house one day and was like, I need to start saying no. I'm like, what you mean? Like, say no to some of that if it ain't the say no. They just using your name to make they look good, but you gonna look bad at the end of the day. But sometimes it's the no's that get you the yes.
Let's be real, Hollywood ain't just about talent. It's about politics, connections, and knowing how to play your part in the power game. Ice-T was never built for that insider life. He didn't move in their circles, didn't chase the same parties, and he openly admitted he doesn't play that fake friends game. And in an industry that runs on handshakes and backroom favors, that's the quickest way to end up locked out. Watching the spotlight move right past you.
Artist walks into a record label who is a pimp and says, please pimp me, put me out there, I need to be out. What's the first thing an artist say when they come? Put me out there. So you say you want to go on the track. So what I do is I'll give you money, I'll make you look good. Now you get out there and you sell me some records. When the is on the street and she see her pimp roll up, she walk a little harder, move her ass a little harder, and she breaks herself. But when you an artist and the label management walks in and you on the stage, you dancing harder. You trying to get it off. You trying to show your pimp you a good hoe.
When you line up all these pieces, you start to see a clear pattern. But here's where it gets messy. Snoop Dogg has set himself up as the OG dropping wisdom about Hollywood's traps, but not everybody's convinced. Some fans are quick to point out that Snoop might be the best player of the Hollywood game. Look at the brand deals, the big money endorsements, the commercials, and all those mainstream TV moments. From cooking side by side with Martha Stewart to popping up in family comedies. He stacked an empire by saying yes to moves that old school hardcore rappers would have once roasted as straight up selling out.
I've been emailing my new BFF, Snoop Dogg. He's always such a fantastic performer and a wonderful artist.
When the kids give you attitude, pop them like it's hard.
The schnizzle.
I love you, thank you, and I appreciate you.
Scroll through social media, and you'll see plenty of people saying Snoop is the last person who should be warning anyone about selling out. And they bring up one of his shadiest moves, taking money from Trump to perform at his event. What makes it wild is that Snoop had already gone hard on Trump before, even threatening rappers who cozied up to him. For context, Snoop was once one of Trump's loudest haters. Back in 2011, he pulled up at Comedy Central's roast of Donald Trump. And with a stage full of pro-comedians, Snoop was the one who lit up the night and stole the spotlight.
Donald say he wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time you pushed a black family out of their home.
When Trump announced he was running in 2015, Snoop pretty much declared all-out war. He clowned him every chance he got and even told fans to ride with Hillary. When Trump actually won, Snoop hit Instagram with receipts, but he didn't stop there. He hinted at bouncing to Canada because of Trump, posting a shot of Drake's hometown Toronto with the caption, "My new home, Drake. I need the hookup on some property, nephew. F this ish. I'm going to the 6th, and that was just the warm-up." Snoop later warned he'd roast any black artist who dared perform at Trump's inauguration. Then, in March 2017, he pushed it to the max with his music video for Lavender, showing himself aiming a toy gun at a clown dressed as Trump. The message was loud and clear. The Lavender video blew up into a firestorm, And not just from Trump's fans. Trump himself jumped on Twitter, blasting Snoop and even hinting he should be locked up. He wrote, "Can you imagine what the outcry would be if Snoop Dogg, failing career and all, had aimed and fired the gun at President Obama? Jail time." But Snoop stood his ground. In a Billboard interview, he claimed he wasn't chasing shock value, just keeping it real. He said America was full of clown behavior, so it only made sense to show it that way. Still, fast forward to today, and the story flips. Now Snoop's out here showing Trump love, praising him for great things he's done for him. In a sit-down with the Sunday Times, Snoop stunned fans by admitting he'd had a change of heart. "Donald Trump, he ain't done nothing wrong to me. He has done only great things for me. I have nothing but love for Donald Trump." And he didn't stop there. Back in January, Snoop even hit the stage at the inaugural Crypto Ball, a glitzy event tied to Trump's inauguration.
At the Crypto Ball, as part of inauguration weekend for Donald J. Trump, someone snapped a pic and put it on Twitter as well. Rick Ross also performed.
My mother say, Rose, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as mosquitoes needle. What's going on? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the Crypto Ball. Woo! Bang, bang.
Snoop didn't post anything about the event on Twitter. On Instagram, he loves Instagram. He has posted 15 times today. 15 times today. Nothing about the event last night.
And this is the same dude who once blasted other rappers as Uncle Toms for backing Trump. Now he's cashing checks from the man himself. So yeah, Snoop has officially flipped into Trump supporter territory, all while trying to lecture Ice-T on what choices he should have made in Hollywood. Ice, on the other hand, kept it solid when it came to Trump. He flat out said he'd never back a guy with that kind of record. In Ice-T's own words, "He's got more felonies than all my criminal friends put together, and he don't even have an ankle bracelet on." It just shows you how this country is really being run. Crazy contrast, right? Because when you line Ice-T up next to Snoop, you're staring at two totally different playbooks for survival in the industry. Snoop chased visibility, stayed everywhere. Music, TV, commercials, cooking shows, even lining his pockets with Trump money. Ice chose the harder road, sticking to principle and refusing to bend. Meanwhile, Ice-T made his choice. He stepped away from certain rooms, dodged the Hollywood politics, and built a career he could fully control from the inside out, even if it meant losing some of that big screen spotlight. It's two OGs staring down the same machine but moving in opposite ways. One played the game to stay inside it. The other walked out before the game could play him. So, how do you feel about Snoop telling Ice-T he should have turned down certain roles? And what do you think is the real reason Ice-T's Hollywood run slowed down? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.